Brian Lau with the Ladd Group at Cascade Sotheby's International Realty here. I'm here with your April 2020 market update. It's a very unusual time that we're all going through, and we all know people that have been affected by this pandemic either through health or job loss or both. And for them, we empathize and we understand, and we're here for you. We are here to serve and calmly deliver valuable insights to our clients so that they can stay informed and make wise decisions for the long term. For our clients that need to buy or sell in this market, they're successfully doing so with our protocols that we've put in place for safety, marketing, and virtual showings, meetings, and even closings. But for our clients that simply wish to understand the data and what's happening in the market, we're supporting that decision by delivering information, our interpretation of the market, and guidance, because, well, that's what we do. Let's talk about what's happening on the ground here in Bend today. In the last 30 days, we've had 67 homes come for sale. 45 of those homes went under contract, and we have 56 houses closing. This is very different than what many people might understand when they watch the news. They think that the markets are crashing. But when I look at housing today, what I'm still seeing is strength. We have buyers wanting to buy. We have sellers successfully selling. So we need to take that into account when digesting this information. So let's start with a macroeconomic viewpoint, inventory and recessions. A lot of people may assume that if there's a recession, housing prices go down, right? You may be interested to find that in the last 5 recessions, one of those recessions had a sharp decrease in housing prices, the 2007 through 2009 recession. One, prices were essentially flat, they were down 1 or 2%. And in 3 of those other recessions, housing prices went up. So I think we need to keep that in mind when we understand that we're going into a recession. But we don't necessarily need to think that the sky is falling with housing prices when we go through this recession. Inventory levels are defined as how many homes are on the market and how many months it takes for them to sell. Historically, 6 months is a balanced market, which means that if no new homes come on the market for sale, it will take 6 months to sell those. Let's relate it back to the biggest one, the one that did affect housing prices. The recession officially started in December of 2007. At that point, we had 13.9 months of inventory, which meant if no new homes came on the market, it would still take well over a year to sell all the inventory. It felt like there were thousands of homes for sale and not a lot of buyers, and that's one of the major factors that drove down housing prices as buyer demand softened. So where do we stand today? I think unequivocally we can state that we're going into a recession. We are at 2.9 months of inventory, which is just over 20% of the inventory level that we had going into the last recession. So that's reassuring to me because it's going to provide some downside resistance to price falls just because we have so few homes for the given demand that we are experiencing. Another big trend that we should discuss that a lot of people are citing are how unemployment rates relate to housing sales. It's a surprising finding to me that an unemployment rise doesn't necessarily equate to less home sales unless that's a protracted length of time for that unemployment. I'm looking at data here from Goldman Sachs, their most recent projection. They're projecting that we go up to unemployment rates of 15% in Q2, Q3 of 2020, which is something we haven't seen in our lifetime. But now what they're also projecting is that those job losses are going to pare down to a 6% unemployment by 2021. So this is a very contracted, very short job loss period, and it won't have the prolonged effects on housing like we saw in the Great Depression. So I'm delivering the facts as the best that I know and can understand them, and undoubtedly, housing is going to be challenged here in 2020. But the way I look at housing is from a very long-term perspective, and everything that I'm seeing are that the fundamentals are strongly in place for continued growth and stability to the housing market, and that this crisis is being dealt with fiscal policy at levels that we've never seen before and is really going to shorten the economic impact of this crisis. And housing will and always remain a solid investment if you look at it from a long-term perspective. And even with that in mind, there are ways to successfully navigate these challenging times in the short term. We are here for you. Stay safe. Please let us know how we can help.